Imagine a workspace where two distinct local AI models talk directly to each other, passing tasks back and forth to complete a complex pipeline, all without ever pinging a cloud API. Until recently, running a setup like this meant relying on rigid systems like OpenClaw, which lacked support for fast, optimized formats like NVFF4. ComfyUI gives us the modular flexibility needed to build a responsive multi-agent system. ComfyUI acts as a central bridge. On the left, an Ollama server runs a lightweight director model brainstorming instructions. On the right, a vLLM server runs a heavyweight executive model. This bridge requires a foundation: Windows subsystem for Linux, a virtual environment, vLLM, and ComfyUI. Splitting the cognitive workload across two specialized local servers keeps your hardware from bottlenecking. The smaller model handles the rapid logic and decision-making, freeing up your GPU's memory, ensuring that the primary generated engine can produce highly targeted outputs without stalling. Step 1 is configuring the director. Open up your PowerShell as an administrator and enter your Windows subsystem for Linux terminal. To unpack the installation files properly, you need the ZST decompression tool. Run the install command here, entering your password when prompted. Pay close attention to your environment here. Ollama must be installed directly inside your base WSL. Do not install it inside your Python virtual environment. Once you are certain you are in the base WSL, paste the Ollama installation curl command and hit enter. For the director role, we will use a fast optimized model. Download the 5.4 mini instruct file and move it specifically into your Novolab models folder. Navigate to that models folder in your terminal and type nano ModelFile to open the text editor. We have to tell Ollama exactly how to run this specific file. Define 3 parameters here: the exact model name, a 32K context length, and the default temperature. Save and exit. Run the Ollama create command on this model file. Once compiled, type run. A chat response confirms your director is active. Establishing this localized director model gives you a dedicated logic engine. You can loop through brainstorming ideas rapidly without drawing a single watt of processing power away from your heavy-duty generative model. Now we need to organize where these models save and retrieve their instructions. Open your local file explorer. Inside your main Novolab folder, create 2 new directories, one named prompts and one named workflows. The prompts folder will hold your system instructions. The director model requires a prompt that encourages creative freedom for drafting ideas, while the executive model requires strict action constraints, so it executes exactly what it is told. Next, download the ComfyUI Multi-Modal Agent Node pack from GitHub and place it directly into your ComfyUI Custom Nodes folder. Here's the data routing. The background API workflow routes commands to vLLM and belongs in your new Workflows folder. The foreground workflow handles your direct inputs. It's the only interface you'll actually load and look at inside ComfyUI. Isolating the background API file in its own folder keeps the 2 models from colliding. The director writes instructions to the designated folder, and the executive silently reads them from the background, keeping the multi-step process entirely stable. Everything is wired. To start the system, you need to open 3 separate PowerShell terminal windows at the same time. This sequence is strictly required. Start the vLLM server first, ComfyUI second, and Ollama third. For steps 1 and 2, ensure your Python virtual environment is activated. For step 3, Ollama must run in your base WSL. With all 3 servers running, open ComfyUI in your web browser and type your initial task into the Ollama chat node. Click Queue Prompt. This sets the dual server pipeline in motion. Watch your screen. You will see the ComfyUI nodes lighting up in sequence, and if you check your terminal log, you will see a confirmation message that the background API workflow loaded successfully. Starting the servers in that specific order guarantees that the API bridge is fully active and listening. If the director tries to send a command before the executive is ready to receive it, the pipeline breaks. To confirm the task completed successfully, pull up the ComfyUI terminal log. You should see 2 distinct prompts executed sequentially, one by the director, followed by one from the executive. This is the final output. When we open our Workflows folder, we find these 2 generated text files side by side, the initial ideas from the director in brainstorm.txt, and the final execution from our heavy model in dadjoke.txt. The models drafted the concept, passed the instructions, and finalized the output entirely on your local hardware without sending data over the internet. Configuring this multi-agent setup moves you past just pinging single models. You are now operating a private, cost-free AI studio that executes complex, multi-step tasks all on its own.